being quoted verbatim. I thought that was great about their breath and everything.
Yeah, look, it was what it was, and it really was all sort of tongue in cheek, and yes, of course, I felt dismissed, but I think the biggest mistake I made was that forgetting that I had a history with having a strong opinion in the past, and I forgot to throw that into the equation. So, so ultimately the way it got spun, it makes, in hindsight, it makes complete sense. I'm just, I'm a douchebag. So.
But you can't see David E. Kelly doing that. That's what made it so cool.
That's true. I guarantee you would not see that. You would not see anybody with class or self-esteem.
Looking forward to the new season. How did you come up with a guy being eaten by ants?
Well, I didn't know you were supposed to know that.
So, this is Comic-Con.
I'm not going to respond to that.
Well, that's a rumor. We just heard.
The new season now, it's going to jump ahead, right?
Yes, they'll be getting out of jail, so it'll be like 14, 15 months.
Can you talk a little bit about where things pick up?
Things pick up sort of where they left off in terms of where they're at, because they've been in jail. Some things, as it was, some things do transpire in jail, and we're doing these little episodes, these little sort of like scenes that we're going to be releasing. And the first one we're going to get released next week, and there are just three scenes that'll be for the public that'll be released before the premiere, and then one that's just exclusively for the DVD. But it'll show sort of scenes of key moments that have happened over the last 14 or 15 months. And some of those, it's the kind of thing where you don't need to have seen them to understand what's going on in the season, but it'll just sort of give you an inside view of some of the things that get dealt with this season. But they get out and they'll be their gun running business is obviously up and running and taken to a new level with the relationships they created last season, and so they have a little bit more money coming in, and and all the complications and dynamics that happen when you start throwing more money into any situation. So it'll be a lot of the inner workings of the club this year.
Kara's leaving.
Sorry, guys. You got that all on.
There's a new sheriff, right?
There is, yes.
And things are going to change as far as the dynamic that the club has with the local law enforcement?
Well, I think it's been changing for a while, once Unser was gone, once they knew that PD was going away, they knew things were going to be changing. So yeah, there's a new sheriff in town, and he's not a guy that can necessarily be put on the payroll, so they'll have to deal with that dynamic. But the interesting thing is these guys have never really, most of their business is outside of Charming. You know what I mean? So it's not like they really. It's not like it's not like the relationship with Unser wasn't so much about keeping them safe and charming. It was more about that relationship had developed over a long period of time, and we'll see some of that history the history of that this season. So I think ultimately their direct conflict with the sheriff doesn't necessarily impact their day-to-day. You know what I mean? So.
Katey, have you cut your song for this year, or not yet?
No, I haven't cut it yet, but I'm pretty sure what it's going to be. I'm not going to tell.
You have veto power over the songs Al would rather have something else?
Well, sometimes he'll ask me, do you think you could sing this one? And if I feel like it wouldn't be a good song for me, I'll usually give it a try. But this one I'm pretty excited about.
Is it weird going from, now that Futurama is back, you're going from this kind of popular family sitcom cartoon to the most violent show on cable, which is kind of cool. Is that a weird dichotomy for you?
No, I I sort of like the transition, actually. I don't even consider Futurama a real family. I mean, it's pretty sophisticated of you, you know. No, it's kind of nice to have both. You know, I'm an all-around gal.
How has it been here for you at Comic-Con? Do you get approached a lot by different fans from your different projects?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I like Comic-Con for that because you get to actually see how much people like what you're doing. You know, Comic-Con fans are like just really extreme and vocal about it, and they get an opportunity here to show that. So, you know, what we do is you don't really meet people. You don't get to do that. It's not like when you're doing a sitcom, say, where you're actually in front of a live audience. And I remember on Married with Children, you'd see people go nuts every week, and they were really appreciative. So it's nice to get that feedback down here.
What's going on with Gemma this season?
Well, Gemma starts the season very happy. She's not on house arrest anymore, and the guys are coming home, and there's been a little bit of income coming in, and she's pretty happy. Got her hair done, got her nails done, has her grandchildren to deal with, but very soon things start to unravel. So she's initially in a pretty good place, and then we have some intrigue that goes on. But like Kurt, I'm sure, has said, the season is all about the internal kind of goings-on of the club, and some of that is, doesn't make her happy.
Will that bring up sort of the mythology of Jax's dad and?
How much can we say? Yeah, I never know how much to say. Get the elbow.
Wow. If that were true.
You mean that?
No, if I had veto power over what you said. You know what I mean? No, I mean in general.
Oh, in general.
Yeah.
About the job.
Oh, about the job, yeah. That's the only place.
You sound so henpecked.
I know.
You're just so not.
I'm so not.
Getting a bad
What the
rep.
fuck was the question? No. What was the question? Oh, about
I don't know. The mythology.
Oh yes. The letters that Tara found at the end of the season, that will definitely inform one of the bigger arcs this season.
Is there actually a